Hi, everyone, and welcome to Studio Jake. I, of course, am your host, Jacob Airy. Thank you for joining me today. Although, normally this is where I cut in and I talk about my books and my website and stuff like that, but I'm feeling a little melancholy today, so I'm not going to do that. And in fact, I got some really bad news. Bad news for comic book fans and fans of animation, nerds, geeks, whatever you want to call yourself, all over the world. We're shocked to hear of the death of Kevin Conroy at the age of 66. According to reports, he died after a very brief battle with cancer. And it's really a shame because folks of my generation, millennials who at one time were known as Gen Y, we were born in the late 80s, early 90s, all of us knew Kevin Conroy. To us, he was Batman. And it was just a tragedy to hear about his passing. Fans all over the world, if you go on Twitter, it's a beautiful thing to see people celebrate him as the Batman, because that is how we knew him. Now, he did other roles that were fantastic. He did, even for DC and Warner Brothers, he did other roles, but we all knew him as Batman. Yesterday, I had the privilege of writing a sort of an homage to him, to talk about him on clownfishtv.com. So I just wanted to take the time to read this to you. It is a sad day for comic book fans all over the world. It has been confirmed that Batman voice actor Kevin Conroy has passed away after a short battle with cancer. While details are still pouring in, fans pay tribute to the celebrity who, for many, defined the character of Batman. When I was 4 years old, I was watching Fox Kids on Saturday morning when a special preview appeared. It featured a character I had never heard of, the Batman. Though the promo was less than 30 seconds, I knew right away I wanted to watch and pleaded with my parents, who acquiesced. On September 6, 1992, I tuned in to see the Batman fight Man-Bat in the episode On Leather Rings, where I heard his voice for the first time. That's my anecdote. Gotham police declare war on Batman. I was instantly hooked. 9 days later, we would hear him utter arguably the most iconic line from the entire series while battling the Scarecrow. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. From that moment on, even as the show moved to Kids WB, Kevin Conroy was my Batman, and his portrayal would become the masterclass on how to perform the role of the Dark Knight. His story did not begin with a cape and cowl, however. Born November 30th, 1955 in Westbury, New York, Conroy would journey to New York City in 1973 to study at Juilliard with Robin Williams and Kelsey Grammer, performing in numerous plays. He would move to San Diego in 1980, where he landed the role of Jerry Grove in the daytime soap opera Another World. During this time, he continued to perform for the theater, including Hamlet. He would also get roles in a variety of popular television shows, including the legal drama Matlock, the sitcom Cheers, as well as the military series Tour of Duty. Side note, he appeared in several other television shows, but I went with those because I felt like those were the ones people would know the most. In 1992, he hesitantly auditioned for a role in a kids' cartoon, Batman, the animated series. Little did he know that when he uttered the words, Bruce Wayne here, he would be getting the role that would define his career. Conroy told Esquire magazine, the Batman voice was the voice you've heard, but the Bruce Wayne voice was high, light, playboy voice with a lot of irony and humor in it. As the studio finished the animation, they realized the show was so dark that Bruce Wayne's light sound was jarring. Conroy would go on to portray the character in television, home video releases, video games, anime, and even in the theatrical film Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. He would finally play Bruce Wayne in a live-action scene, albeit a darker one, in the CW's adaptation of Crisis on Infinite Earths. His last time voicing the Batman was in 2019's Justice League vs. the Fatal Five, and his final role was as Hardak on the Netflix CGI series He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. He had been cast as Bruce Wayne again for the now-canceled Batman Caped Crusader HBO Max original. Co-creator of Batman the Animated Series, Paul Dini, paid tribute to Kevin Conroy on Twitter, and Paul Dini shared out a GIF from the film Mask of the Phantasm where Batman looks out as the bat signal lights up. Kevin Conroy passed away from cancer at the age of 66 on November 10th, 2022. He will live on as a legend and for voicing a legend. Now, I never got the chance to meet Kevin Conroy. I had seen him speak before. I've watched numerous interviews with him. I've seen him on DVD extras. And like I said, growing up with him, not just portraying Batman in Batman the Animated Series, he would go on to voice him in Justice League Unlimited, Justice League Action, the Batman Superman movies, all kinds of stuff. And of course, I mentioned anime. He voiced Batman in a special anime film. It was an anthology film where different anime studios did some Batman stories that all are kind of interconnected, called Batman Gotham Knight. It was actually supposed to be set in between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, although Christopher Nolan hasn't really said that it's canon, but those of us who remember when it first came out, that was heavily part of its promotional material. So I always like to say that Kevin Conroy is part of the Dark Knight trilogy. I almost did get to meet Kevin Conroy come around the time of the pandemic. He was supposed to appear at Los Angeles Comic-Con. Unfortunately, because of the situation in Los Angeles, they canceled it. They moved to digital only. And it's a shame because if I had met him, I would have had him sign this. Why this, you say? Well, this is an actual animation cell from the Clampett Studio collections, DC Comics as well. And my parents actually got me this for a birthday present. Let's see if the year's on here. 2005. So I was 17 years old. This shows you how ingrained Batman was in my life. I have been a Batman fan since I was 4 years old. And all the way up to 17, my parents were buying me stuff like this. Obviously, this isn't an action figure or a video game or whatever, but it's an actual animation cell. And I actually kept this so that he could sign it. And I'm sad now he'll never get the chance, because I probably am one of the biggest fans of Batman the Animated Series. One of the things I have here, this is something very special. My parents, again, helped me collect this, as well as my sister. They used to have these trading cards you could get whenever an animated series come out. Now it's all tabletop games when it comes to cards. People don't really collect them like baseball cards anymore, but I certainly did. And here we have my Batman the Animated Series card collection. I don't think I've ever shown this to anyone before outside of family and friends, so this is kind of cool. I've got what's really neat about this is it's unique in that it shows characters that were introduced in Batman the Animated Series. You don't really see these characters anymore, so characters like the Ninja, he was introduced in Batman the Animated Series, as was, of course, Harley Quinn. Sorry, you can't really see her. Co-created by Paul Dini. And I really loved this whole collection. They also had different cards that had scenes from the show. It's something that I think there's 100 of them to be exact, and it's something that I liked a lot more. I actually here's a couple more. These came, I think, with these three came, I think, with Happy Meals, if I'm not mistaken, and I loved it so much I actually did a second collection. So I've got double it. Something I'm very proud of, and especially now. But Kevin Conroy, he'll always be remembered as Batman to me and to hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of Batman fans all over the world. Sometimes I wonder about who would think about what at what time, and whenever it comes to things like like Batman the Animated Series, something so iconic, something that just got captured in the pop culture zeitgeist. It'll live on forever in places like DVD releases on HBO Max, and with us, with the fans, we will remember Kevin Conroy saying, "I am vengeance, I am the night, I am the Batman." I'm not even going to try to imitate him. I do some imitations, but I'm not even going to try. I am no way, shape, or form can imitate the great Kevin Conroy. So that's all I have to say about the matter. I really hope if you have an HBO Max subscription, I hope that you will go on. I hope that you will check out Batman the Animated Series on there and give it a watch, because this one is for Kevin. If you like that video, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Give it a thumbs up. And I would be honored today if you would subscribe. No matter what platform you're watching on, please subscribe, hit that follow button, share it out all over the place, and check me out on some of my other socials. I've got links in the description below. Also, check out my website, StudioJakeMedia.com, and consider supporting this channel on StudioJakeMedia.locals.com. It really helps us smaller creators out. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.